What's up, guys? Welcome to Box to Box Football, and me and Jack are back. Once again, I just want to apologize for not reacting to the Arsenal Manchester United game. I know a few people wanted us to react to that, but got a little bit tired. But we're gonna give a little bit of reaction of that game and also everything going on in the Premier League. Actually, you know what? Let me know now. We're gonna do our mid-season Premier League predictions now. If you watched Monday Night Football yesterday, you see Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher did their own. And we're going to do our own on behalf of Box to Box Football. Now, before I get into that, quick little thing I need to ask you guys. A little favor from me and Jack. Could you please hit that subscribe button and also that like button? Really important for this channel. So please hit that and let's try to get to 1,000. But Jack, let's get into it. The 5 categories that we're going to do. We're going to do who's going to win the Premier League, who's going to get in the top 4, 3 teams that are going to be going down, player of the season, and manager of the season. Now, Jack, you ready to go? Let's talk about the first one.
Yep.
Who are going to be the champions this year? Who is going to win the Premier League? Do you want to take this one, or shall I take this one, Jack?
I will take this one because I'm going to be short and sweet, and then I'm going to let you go off a little bit on this one because I think we're going to agree. If we're not going to agree, I'm going to be upset with you. James, it's going to be Arsenal. Again, we've talked about this enough times now. The first couple of months of the season, just as Arsenal's kind of momentum was going, I still had my reservations and my questions. And I'm the type of person, I have my opinion until I see something that changes my opinion. I don't like ride and die on an opinion because, you know, again, Messi, Ronaldo type thing. I was a Ronaldo's the greatest of all time. Messi like won a World Cup. Like my mind can change when I get new information. I'm not exempt from changing my mind if new information becomes available to me. And I think I'm hoping that is a skill that will hold me in good stead, and hopefully something that maybe some other people who are stuck in their ways that can learn too. Anyway, enough about that. I was of the opinion that there were a few things I needed to see from this Arsenal team to prove it to me that I thought they were capable of doing this. James, I think I had like 3-4 questions, maybe I think about 3 questions. They've answered every single question absolutely brilliantly. And especially after this past weekend's result that we've seen, I see absolutely no reason why Arsenal can't go on to win this league. The injury thing as well that we've seen with the Gabriel Jesus, and that was a real worry, you know, early parts of December. Oh, that's going to be a real concern. The squad's thin. We don't know. Gabriel Jesus, arguably the most important player to this setup, has come through it. And Eddie Nketiah has, you know, do you know what I mean? So it's all the questions are being answered. For me, it's Arsenal through and through. I'm okay with it. Getting into Europe next year, Arsenal, okay, there's going to be some more questions. Again, inexperienced team from a European standpoint, but we're talking about the Premier League today. And in terms of the Premier League, I see absolutely no reason that Arsenal can't go on to win this league.
Jack, I'm just like you. I agree with it, but just like our World Cup predictions, we both picked Brazil and tragedy at the end. So maybe I'm going to do this for the fact of just a bit of luck purposes. I'm still going to go for City.
Oh, James.
100%. No, Jack. 100%. 100%. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm on the Arsenal bandwagon. I believe we're going to win the title. But just the fact of what City are, and just to be also a bit lucky, I'm a very superstitious person. So maybe if I go for it. See,
also, look at James's face while he's saying all this stuff. He knows Arsenal are in it.
Listen, we're in a great position. There's still 19 games to play. A lot can change, but we have a good lead. We have a comfortable lead. But as I said, that can be trimmed. The fact that we still have to go to Anfield, and we know what's happened in the past few years there. We've not just lost, but we've been battered on a number of occasions. We still have to play Manchester City twice. That could swing it. Man City have Chelsea coming at home. Liverpool are going to be at the Etihad. They also have to play Arsenal at home. So they have a lot of fixtures that is in their favor now. As I said, a lot can change. But just for the fact that City have been there, yeah, a few fixtures that you favor them, especially the big ones this season. Even Newcastle, we still have to go away to Newcastle.
That's huge. Yeah.
Etihad. That's the only thing that kind of changed, kind of just puts me over the City side. But deep down, I'm Arsenal all the way. Let's take it home, Arsenal. Come on. But City, for me, I'm that Gary Neville guy. Not really. But, Jack, let's move on to top 4. So, who are the 4 teams I'm going to stay up? I'm going to go for this one. Arsenal, Man City in that order. Man United, And I want to say Newcastle, but I'm just going to go for the fact of I mentioned about what Man City does and the way that they've just been outstanding in the past few years. That's what kind of tips teams over the edge. This team has been outstanding for many years, and that's Liverpool. I just find it hard to see Liverpool not being in the Champions League. Yes, Jack, they're playing poor football, but I like to think at some point that they can pull it together. So I'm going to say Liverpool will get that fourth place. But the distance between them, Jack, is quite large.
That's what I'm saying.
10 points,
That's like,
but they do have a game in hand, Jack.
to me, that's bold. And like, a lot of things are going to have to change quite dramatically for me to even see your point in that argument. Like, Cody Gakpo's come in. Has Cody Gakpo been great since coming in?
No.
Are we still seeing the best of Darwin Nunez pretty soon? No. Have we seen the kind of performances we're accustomed to seeing of late, of like the Mohamed Salahs of the world? No. The midfield looks kind of tired and kind of over it and all this kind of stuff. It feels like a squad that knows something's coming to an end. New owners coming in. Virgil van Dijk out for an extended period of time. Injuries, I cannot see it for Liverpool. And I know you mentioned there going away to Anfield, James, especially this season, we're dealing with a team that are mid-table, like firmly in the mid-table. They're not in the like fifth, sixth kind of discussion pushing for European places. Like, I'd be amazed if it's Liverpool. Again, it's Jurgen Klopp. It's a story we've seen many times over the last 5 years. But for me, I would just say no on that. For me, Man City second, Newcastle United third, and Manchester United sneaking in fourth. I know a lot of people might think, oh, Jack, I don't know about that. But I look at the teams who are potentially going to invade those spaces, and I don't have much like motivation to suggest that they'd be able to break through. Now, if, all these signings that Chelsea have and Graham Potter and all this, if that all starts to click, can Chelsea make a push? Maybe, right? But apart from that, I don't see any. But do Fulham have the legs to do it? Probably not. Brentford, do they have the legs to do it? Probably not. Spurs and Conte, I mean, that's kind of that's an abrasive relationship as it is. Reports coming out lately, James, that Conte his contract will end and he will just go. Which again will save Spurs money, which they like to do. So for me, I know it's boring, but City, Newcastle, Man United, and again, Newcastle sneaking in third. Some people might think, wow, really? Third place? Yes, I do think that. You look at the recent form and what they've been able to do. That's kind of an easy one for me.
So Jack, let's move up to the three teams that are going to be going down. I'm going to give mine first. I'm going to say Southampton. Unfortunately, I just don't think that they have it this year. Bournemouth seems to be like a yo-yo club. I don't think that they were prepared to go into the Premier League this year. And the team is riding high right now. They're 6 points off the drop. I'm going to say Nottingham Forest are going to go down.
Okay.
I still think West Ham, Wolves, they just have a bit more quality than them. So those are my three teams going down.
James, I got maybe a little bit of a shock one here. Obviously, I've got Southampton. Yes, I also have Bournemouth. James, I think Everton are going to go down. I think the problems at Everton Football Club are a lot deeper than just Frank Lampard and what they've got going on. James, they have nobody who can put the ball in the goal. That's kind of an important thing that you need going forward. And defensively, it's strong, but it's not strong enough to prevent losing 1-0 to teams that can create a few chances and have players who can score one of those chances. Calvert-Lewin is not the same guy he was before his injury. This January transfer window, they're going to have to bring in somebody very impressive for me to think they're going to do that. And the new manager bounce, it's going to have to be one hell of a bounce to save this Everton team.
But the rumors is that they're going to bring in a manager like Marcelo Bielsa. When I heard that felt like a proper game changer. Even somebody like a Sean Dyche, he's never been relegated, Jack, in the Premier League. So he's another one that if he comes in, I just see them somehow sneaking out of there. But Jack, let's move on to the player of the year. Now this one's a bit of a tough one, but Jack, do you want to go first right here? Because I'm happy dibble and dally through mine.
I'm happy to go through for one thing I think I'll say, and I don't know whether James will agree with me here. I don't want to speak for James, but yeah, guys, it's not Erling Haaland. It's a very, very impressive goal haul. There's no doubt in that. And yes, I'm sure that many people believe he's the best player in the world right now because his goals to game ratio is so good, right? Guys, you have to watch the games and see what he's doing. It's still very impressive. He's still right up there and he's executing the job he's being told to do beautifully, right? Chef's kiss. He's doing exactly what Pep wants him to do. But again, if you're actually watching him play in terms of, I guess, the impact of what he's actually doing, I'm not as impressed by than a couple of other candidates. For me, James, the best player of the year so far, in my view, is Kieran Trippier. Now, you might be thinking, what the hell are you talking about? I'm talking about a guy with 11 clean sheets to his name out of a possible 19 games. I'm talking about a guy who's come in to this Newcastle team who are currently sitting in the top 4. The guy's basically captain. I think Jamal Lascelles is listed as the captain, but Jamal Lascelles doesn't start football matches for Newcastle. Don't get it twisted. Kieran Trippier is the captain of this Newcastle United team. He has a goal threat. He has an assist threat. James, he has more man of the match awards as well than any other player in the Premier League. To me, that's not a shock. I'm not surprised by that. Kieran Trippier has come in, revolutionized this Newcastle United team, and I would say the vast majority of their success this year and also going forward for the next 2 years before he calls it a day or his performances start to go down will be down to Kieran Trippier. I know it's a fullback. I know it's not sexy. And I know a bunch of people watching might be like, what the hell are you talking about? James, Kieran Trippier for me is player of the year.
Jack, that's a great shout, but I didn't think that. Again, it isn't the most sexist choice. When you look at Newcastle and what they've been able to do this year, Jack, it stands out. You look at their position, but the thing that stands out for Newcastle, Jack, their defense is impeccable this year. I think they haven't conceded a goal this year alone, Jack. How many times you watch Newcastle, Jack? If they don't score, they're not going to lose the game. Why? Because they don't concede. Usually, it's going to be a 0-0 or something.
Bobby Moore, right? The Bobby Moore thing.
You know, Jack, they came to the Emirates, and teams who've come to the Emirates and crumbled, Jack, they were able to be stout for 90 minutes straight against Arsenal and frustrate them and get a point there. So that's a decent shout there. But when you're about to do something that's never been done before, I find it hard to look past you. Now, Jack, as I said, I'm not crazy impressed with Erling Haaland because I look at the goals, I look at the way how he's being fed. It reminds me of Luis Suarez when, like, the season after for Barcelona, where he scored like 56 goals. It felt force-fed, and that's what feels with Erling Haaland. But, Jack, if he goes on to beat Mohamed Salah's record, which he will, if he hits 40 to 50 goals, Jack, I just can't look past that.
I know. Really I understand that. You know? I get it.
And my biggest thing is that I want to look at Martin Odegaard or Bukayo Saka, who has been brilliant, but goals win games. And I haven't been crazy impressed with him. But when Lewandowski did what he did and broke Gerd Muller's record, that's something that's never been done before. He broke something that people didn't think was breakable. And for somebody to come in his first season like Erling Haaland did, like Erling Haaland's done, and break the records and maybe even smash it to a point of view where nobody can get it, it's hard for me to look
or
past
James,
that.
To a point of view that the only person who will break the record is him next year, right? That's what we're dealing with. And again, don't get me wrong, I gave my spiel at the beginning there because of course people are going to say that, and the rebuttal to the argument is going to be, he scored 1 million goals, and it's like, yeah, look, fair enough. But again, James and I have been saying this for a few weeks, or at least I have. Go watch Erling Haaland at Borussia Dortmund. I'm more impressed with Erling Haaland, Borussia Dortmund, Erling Haaland than I am him at City, but it's because it's what he's being asked to do. It's different.
Okay, so Jack, let's move on to the last bit right here. Quick, it's just going to be quick fire. The manager of the year. Who's yours, Jack?
Arteta. It's not even close. I mean, there are a couple contenders who deserve a shout out. Eric Ten Hag deserves a shout out. Eddie Howe deserves a shout out. Marco Silva deserves a shout out.
I feel like the one that really runs him close is Eddie Howe. And what Jack is, if Newcastle get top 4, like,
yeah, James, Thomas Frank, Marco Silva, Ten Hag, Eddie Howe. I mean, those are kind of the main ones that I can.
Pep is always going to be,
of course. But again, you look at what he has to be able to do what he's done. But James, it's not even close. It's Mikel Arteta. This is the one to me that is the biggest lock you've ever seen.
If Arsenal don't win the league, does he still win manager of the year?
In my opinion, yes, absolutely. Like, again, James.
What about if Arsenal finish like 3rd or 4th?
No, I mean, 3rd or 4th, okay, maybe they're falling out a little bit. But I would still say, to me, what's most impressive is before the season starts, where are people predicting you should be? I don't know where you and I had Arsenal. I think I probably had them 5th or 6th, maybe 7th. I think I may have had them. I'll have to go back and check. James, if they're going to finish 2nd or 1st, that's way above expectation of what you'd be expecting them to do. So for me, again, we've still got half a season to go, and half a season will impact just as much as it has this year. But to me, I'd be amazed if he doesn't continue this to a point where we're just impressed by him.
I feel like if Arsenal collapse from here and to me minimum don't finish 2nd, there's going to be a few fingers pointed because he's going to look at the mentality side of it. But it's hard it's hard to not look at Mikel Arteta, what he's brought to this team. And Jack, it's not only that, it's the stories I hear about him coming in and like changing Arsenal completely, like the things in the training ground, having like this like imaginary Premier League shadow there, and every player's walking through and seeing that every single day as they walk through the training ground, you know, taking players out, you know, bringing a winning mentality, bringing in players like Zinchenko, who I thought was good, but I didn't think he was that was like this good.
Right.
Everything he's done this year has been fantastic. He has been the manager of the year, and he's proven me wrong beyond my imagination. But guys, let's just run through our picks. So Jack, champions, you had Arsenal, I had Man City. Wink, wink. Jack, top four. Who was in your top four?
City second, Newcastle third, Man United fourth.
So I had Arsenal, obviously City, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool. Team staying up, Jack.
Going down, I had Southampton,
down.
Southampton, Bournemouth, but then also Everton.
Yeah, I had Southampton, Bournemouth, and Nottingham Forest. Our players of the year, Jack had Kieran Trippier.
Big K Trips.
I had Erling Haaland, and our manager of the year, we both had Mikel Arteta. Now, guys, could you give your five for all categories? Let us know if you don't agree with the Kieran Trippier one, because that's what I really want to hear the most. Comment down below, guys. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.